Greetings, boys, girls, and gender rebels. I'm Penny Underbust, and today you are joining me for a corset haul video. The three corsets I have to show today were all made for me by Amber at Lovely Rats Corsetry. They were all, the patterns for them were made for me as well. So the specific corsets that I'm going to show you today were made with my bone structure and fat deposits in mind. I don't know, anyone who knows anything about making clothing will know what I mean when I say pattern, but anyone else, the specific shape that it makes, the way that it hugs my ribs and the way that it hugs my hips and stuff, that was all specifically my physique beared in mind when constructed by Amber. And Amber has a lot of skills. I think that her eye for detail and her color stuff, her color theory, two of her most standout features in her corsetry, but I actually personally think that the thing that she does absolutely best is make patterns, the specific shape to fit a person, and difficult shapes too. I'll show you in a moment. You'll see the overbusts, and anyone who's thought to themselves, well, I could never find a corset that fits me, will see that and probably reevaluate their opinions, because Amber can work magic, trust me. So first things first, this glorious underbust. It's very pretty. It's a lot more simple than the other two things that I'm going to show you today. It's incredibly sturdy. It's designed to be a waist trainer, so it's made out of very heavy canvas, and it's got internal bone casings to keep the outside as sleek as possible, so it's not gonna, if I wore it with costumes, for example, or similar styles of things, it wouldn't show the boning casings. It's all smooth and sleek. It's lovely. It's very comfortable as well, which helps. I actually haven't named this corset yet. Second up, we actually have my favorite of the lot. It's not the most impressive. The third one is the most impressive, which is why I've saved it till last. But the black one, George, for me, I'll show it to you now, is, I don't know, it's a special kind of beautiful. Some people may remember the overbust video I did not that long ago. Well, I wanted something a little less fancy so that I wouldn't be scared of breaking it every time I wore it. And here's the first result of that request. This glorious twin overbust that I have lovingly named George. I can't get over this corset. I've honestly never worn something more supportive and comfortable. The waist is so tiny, I feel like Vampira or Elvira or something. But most importantly, whilst wearing this corset, I have more support for my chest than I've ever had before. It's so comfortable. No pressure on my spine, no pressure on my shoulders. It's bliss. People who see corsets as torture devices haven't worn anything half as well fitted as this. And finally, we have the second twin to go with George, Frida. Now, Frida is something very special. First of all, Amber informed me that she was the 200th corset that Amber had ever made. So I get a little bit of a ridiculously special milestone corset. A little bit of a ridiculously. Penny, you're English. Anyway. This corset to me it's just the perfect example of just simplicity and perfection. It's sort of I'm gonna get real corny here for a moment, but a lake when there's no breeze, or a fresh snowfall or something. It's just flat and pristine and unbroken, and I don't know, it's just something very impressive to look at. I think that the video footage doesn't even do it justice for how perfect it is. I think the lighting catches the satin, which the camera reads as looking shinier than it is. It's more like butter. It's in person. It's just smooth and wonderful. It's for me. This is art. This is my idea of what high fashion is. I understand that everyone has different definitions of that, but I'm not the person who loves all of the extra stuff. I love simple things. I love things to just be amazing in the way that they are built and the bare bone structure of the thing. I don't need as much flowers and lace and stuff to find something beautiful, and the less of that you put, the harder you can hide flaws. So when I see something like this that's so perfect without having anything to hide its flaws, I don't know, it's breathtaking. It's breathtaking and I love it. It's beautiful. Alright, so that is all of the corsets that I have to show to you today. Very quickly though, disclosure time. Amber is a very close personal friend of mine. That being said though, like we did bond partially over corsets and pattern making for me and stuff. And like I buy my corsets from Amber. I wasn't given these corsets in exchange for making videos and posts and all that stuff. You know, I buy my corsets from Amber, and I'm only sharing them with you here because I think they're exceptional. It's not out of an obligation or anything like that. Yep. So I think that's everything. If you want to check me out, I do a lot of things on the internet. Go to my website, pennyonbust.com. You can find links to every place that I do things. I have Patreon. Yep. From the bottom of my little black heart, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.